Welcome back, guys. Check out this video by Myron Golden.
Poor people think the primary purpose of money is to pay bills. Middle class people think the primary purpose of money is to pay their bills on time so they can maintain good credit, so they can buy more stuff they can't afford, but they can afford the payments. Rich people use debt totally. Poor people are afraid of debt. Middle class people are used by debt. Rich people use debt to create wealth and avoid taxes legally. It's a different way of thinking.
All right, Kirby, what are your thoughts on this video?
This video, when I heard it, it reminds me of the Discord channel that we do, and we talk to people about personal finance and the delineation between debt. People don't understand that there's this thing as good debt and bad debt. When I used to hear it, especially when I was a Dave Ramsey fanatic, I thought all debt's bad, all debt's bad. But of course, as I more matured in finance, then I realized that it's a way to leverage the debt. So when I tell people that, I'm in a search to grab more debt, they look at me like I'm insane. They're like, "Oh no, we're trying to pay off debt. We're trying to pay off debt." So when you say the middle class gets used by debt, and then the poor is scared of debt, those are the hallmark things there, because of their concept of debt is credit card payments, store card payments, car payments, um, you know, buy now, pay later. That's their concept of debt. But they don't understand how to leverage it. Like you said, the rich people use debt to leverage it to make more. And those are the things that stick out. I mean, I agree 100% with what he's saying, because he's 100% correct. Because I was in that mindset of, oh no, I don't want debt at all, and I was super poor. And then once I start moving up to the middle class, I was looking at debt more of, hey, yeah, now I need a high credit score. I need to do this, to make sure I maintain this credit score to look good. But in the true reality of it is I didn't find my eureka moment until I realized how to leverage the debt. And I'm not talking about consumer debt here, to buy assets to make my life better, and not going out there and running up credit card debts for vacations, and running credit cards up for the next Jordans that just came out yesterday, and things like that.
Yeah, it's funny because I always hear people when I talk to them about taxes, or and I'm not a tax professional, guys, but I know what I should be looking for when doing my taxes. If I talk to them about taxes, they think like what I'm doing is illegal. And it's not illegal. Obviously there's a tax code that shows you how to get deductions and stuff. And when you use debt, you get a lot of tax advantages and a lot of tax benefits. And they fail to understand, especially certain things, like Myron says, it's a different mindset. Like in this scenario with high interest rates, I hear all the time people saying, why would you buy in this market when interest rates are high? And I tell them, I'm not paying the interest rate, the tenant is. I just got to find a deal that cash flows for me. Whether it's a 15% interest rate, a 2% interest rate, I got to find one that makes enough money that the tenant covers the expenses and I can make profit off of it. And that's it. It doesn't matter what the interest rate is. And so they have a completely different mindset because they're thinking of buying a house to live in. And so, of course, if you live in a property with a 7-8% interest rate, you're going to be paying a lot more out of pocket and you're going to be losing a lot more money. But buying investments is completely different in any market, completely different. And especially, leveraging those assets with debt, it just works different. When you use debt to buy liabilities, then yes, you're in a different position because it's going to be a complete expense to you. There is not going to be any money coming into your pocket from it, or any money wiping off, part of that expense. It's going to be a complete cost to you. And so you have to mitigate that expense and, look for deals that, maybe lower your prices, like people saying, they don't want to buy a home right now in this environment. I get that because you're looking to buy a liability, but it works completely different when you switch your strategy and focus as to why it is you're buying what you're buying, real estate, businesses, assets, because whether it's debt and high interest or not, if the deal works and the numbers work and you can make profit off of it, it'll work either way. And so I see people, and I understand, why they think of it wrong because they're not educated on it, but they're looking at it from the wrong perspective as, middle class or lower class citizens. So, but
Yeah. They the the key thing I want the viewers to understand, you just said it and Myron said it also. It's a mindset. People think, hey, I have to get the money first to have this mindset. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. The mindset itself will get you to the upper echelons of the income scale. Like when I was out, credit card and, you know, cash advancing and all that stuff, I stayed poor. Only thing I did was change my mindset. My money didn't change at the beginning. It was just changing my mindset. Changing my mindset about money is what start moving me up on the income scale. I mean, the income was the same, but I started having more money. I started saving more money. I started understanding how the middle class looked at things when I was poor. I started understanding how the middle class looked at things, and that's how I did it. I just said, hey, I'm just gonna get out of debt, have a high credit score, then I'm good. Then I get there, and then I learned, still barely in the middle class, but then I started learning how to leverage the money that I did have to take out debt, to leverage it to do bigger and better things. And that's what got me up there to the next, income level and things like that. But it's all about the mindset. People, for the life of me, they always think, hey, if I hit the lottery, then I'm gonna get an accountant, then I'm gonna invest. Hey, if I get a raise, then I'm invest. No, if you don't change the mindset of it, you're still going to do the same things that you did back when you had nothing. I mean, the word lifestyle creep is because the lifestyle creep of people keep bringing their expenses up to their income, no matter how high they move up in a company or no matter how high the income is. The reason why that happened is because they never changed their mindset of when they had nothing. Once you understand that, and I sit there and I talk to people that's in, well off positions. I mean, directors and, you know, senior directors and things like that, they still have the mindset of a person that didn't have nothing. So they get the promotion, now they double their salary, they, making multiple six figures. But then they think that, oh, now I got to go buy another house to match my title. So you're still doing the same thing to make it look like I have stuff that, and of course, they never buy a house that's in their income realm. So let's say they make $200,000 a year instead of just, buying a normal $200,000, $300,000 house, so they can be comfortable. No, $400,000 house. No, they go up $7, $8 million houses because they make $200,000 a year. So they can look richer than they actually are. And then they become house poor and then they wonder why it keep happening. And I always go to the analogy of when I was in the military. When I was in the military, I was the E1. E1, I probably was bringing in $600 a month, broke, poor. And then as I moved up to the ranks of E3, E4, E5, E6, then now I'm bringing in 25, $3,000 a month. And I still don't have any money because the only thing I did was I just brought my poor habits up with the income that I have, which left me poor. So I don't want the audience and people listening to miss that concept of the mindset. The mindset will get you there. Understanding how money works will get you there. Understanding the different mindsets of different classes of people will get you to have more money. It's not the other way around. More money is not going to stop you from being poor because you're still going to have poor habits. I mean, I know people literally that make $600,000 a year that spend $700,000 a year. So yeah, they put it on their credit card. And then I asked him, I said, have you always been making this money? No, I just started making this money 3, 4 years ago. And I was like, so what was you making 5, 10 years ago? Oh, I was like at 100,000. I was like at 80,000. I was like, did you have any money then? No. So now you done made 7x what you was making 5, 10 years ago, and you still don't have the money. And then they want to blame it on inflation. They want to blame it on taxes. They want to blame it on insurance. No, the one thing that they don't blame it on is themselves because they never changed their mindset once they got to those levels. So if you change your mindset first, the money will come. But if you never change your mindset, the money will always be gone. And it'll be going to somebody like Alex, who has the mindset to take advantage of those situations.
Yeah, and like Robert Kiyosaki says in Rich Dad Poor Dad, like broke is temporary and poor is a mindset. Like when there's a difference, you can see someone that has a lot of money or makes a lot of money, but they're poor because their expenses are exceeding what they're making. It doesn't matter like what they're able to buy or what they're able to show off because numbers are numbers. If they made $1 million a year and they spent 2 million, they're negative 1 million. It's, you're poor. In that scenario, you're poor. Regardless of how flashy that 2 million or million looks, or how shiny it looks, you're still poor at the end of the day because you don't have any excess to yourself. And broke, I think a lot of wealthy people go broke temporarily because they're putting all their money into assets. And that itself is a different mindset too. You put all your money into assets and then you allow your capital to regenerate and then you buy another asset. So you're going broke buying assets, but you're not poor because you're constantly increasing your wealth along the way. So I think what you said was a really good point, comparing, not just focusing on people that are making low incomes or middle class incomes, but people that are making high incomes, director positions, presidents, executives that have their lifestyle way too inflated and they cannot afford it without their job. In that situation, they are poor.
All that being said, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
See you guys.